Hidden meanings of face moles. The Chinese believe that the moles on our bodies are in reality secret imprints carried over from our previous lives, stamps of some past karmic deed meant to ripen in this life, good as well as bad. Others contend that moles are messages of good fortune and misfortune that reflect important turning points of our life. Each noticeable mole on our body carries a hidden meaning, or depicts some secret obstacle or unexpected help from someone. In certain traditions, the messages of moles were so significant it could even be read as bringing bad luck to the family, or so highly revered that the member of the family with the mole would be highly revered. Many cultures contend of course that the larger and more prominent the mole, the greater its power. Another widely held belief is that lighter colored moles spell better fortune. Here is what the Chinese generally have to say about moles on our body. Moles on the face do not always spell trouble for a person. Here's a look at the meaning of moles on the face and the kind of speculations associated with it. Mole. 1. This mole is the mark of individuals who have been rebels from a very young age. They do not tackle shackles well and hate to be dominated by anybody at all. These people hear everyone out but do whatever they wants to do. Their imaginations run wild and their creativity stems from that. This is indication enough that these people work best when they work alone, since they hate people above them, breathing down their necks. In cases where they do have people to supervise them, they have the ability to bowl their supervisors over with their sheer brilliance and out-of-the-box thinking. Their radical approach in everything they do usually wins people over for them. In sooth, they are the masters of their own fate and no amount of efforts to rein these people ever work out. If a lady has a mole in this position, she is generally sensual and works her magic around men all the time. She is desirous and that literally borders on licentiousness. She is a proud woman who is fully aware of her powers over the opposite sex. For a man, a mole in this position usually spells terrible luck when it comes to women. This luck worsens if the mole is a deep shade of black. However, if it is a very light spot on the skin which can hardly be detected, it means that he will receive the honest devotion and love of the woman. Mole. 2. Very bad decision-making powers. That is exactly what a mole in this position indicates. The degree to which a person is handicapped in this scenario can be gauged from the shade of the mole. The darker the shade, the graver the inability. The case scenario is not so bad if you have a barely detectable mole there. A man who has a red mole in this position is likely to have volatile temper. A man with a light-colored mole will be indecisive and yet be the subject to a great amount of affection from people. Mole. 3. This particular mole has two names which invariably give away the meaning of having a mole in this position. Firstly, it is called a husband mole, wherein it is believed that a woman having this mole has an unpleasant married life fraught with tensions. There will be no chemistry in this relationship whatsoever and it will generally lead to marital discord. Women with this mole are also known to have a rather arrogant disposition which adds to their troubles in this regard. She is mostly dominated by the planet Mars and that will give her the malefic temper that will affect her life so. Secondly, it is also known as the obstruct career mole. Why so? This is because the region where this mole is located is the exact spot on your forehead which governs your career luck between the ages 15 and 30. A mole here would only translate into the fact that a person's career fortune will only see an ascension after the age of 30. Until then, promotions, appraisals and all other career-related issues will be disappointing and a cause for stress and subsequent depression. A person with a darker mole in this area is likely to embrace depression more easily. Mole. 4. Explosive bouts of anger sprinkled generously with a tendency to argue incessantly. That is what a mole in this region means. The deeper the shade of the mole, the more violent these bouts are. However, These outbursts subside as fast as they engulf the person, and after they subside, there is no trace of malice or grudge left behind. In spite of the temper issues, these people are charming and a lot of fun when they are allowed to exercise their free will and are not bombarded with opinions. A decision to get this mole removed leads to inner peace and a calmer approach to life. It also said that a man is the master of languages when he has a mole at this spot. He can play with words like no one else. Mole 5. A mole above the eyebrows generally indicates two things: a wealth and traveling. Wealth-wise, it means that a man has the capability to work very hard and earn money honestly. His senses and intuitions when it comes to earning money will be exceptionally sharp, and it will grow by the day. However, it is of optimum importance that he learns to guard his hard-earned money well, for his fortunes will attract the green-eyed monsters in many people, and they will actively try to harm him. There will be no dearth of wolves donning a sheepskin in his life. So, beware. Do not get into believing people who self-volunteer to manage your money for you, or those who try to sell you schemes which promise to make you rich in a matter of days. Men with moles above the eyebrows will traverse far and wide and earn a lot of money. These people are genetically coded to prosper in business ventures. For a man, it also means two other things. He will suffer from physical ailments throughout his life. His marital life will be far from blissful, as there are high tendencies of getting stuck with a cheating spouse, especially if the mole on his face is jet black. For a woman, however, it means that she will marry into wealth. Her traveling frequencies will show an upward trend, especially if her mole is a raised one, a wart. If the mole is light in color, it indicates a possibility that she will get married to a man living in a different country. If it is jet black in color, however, it spells bad luck. She will be left alone at home while her husband will be on business tours for very long periods of time. Mole 6. A mole in this position is usually called a grass-covered pearl. A very sharp, creative mind day. That is exactly what this mole is indicative of. This mole, which is usually well hidden in the eyebrows, suggests an enshrouded talent, an artistic bent of mind, and a massive capacity to harness success and glory with back-breaking hard work and persistence. There must be a strong will to do things differently, and when this will is channelized in the proper way, the pearl from the belly of the ocean shall emerge. Mole 7. Moles in this area generally signify a good amount of familial tiffs with relatives. If you do have a mole at this spot, please make sure that you settle any simmering conflicts as soon as practicable, for it will end up causing you a great amount of heartache and professional disturbance otherwise. For a man, this mole has no other significance. For the ladies though, this mole translates to lavish showering of gifts and fortune from members of the opposite sex. Her love for luxury will be matched by the gifts her admirers shower on her, even more if she has a slightly bulbous mole. However, if she has a very dark mole, she will have to battle some hurdles in the course of her life. Mole 8. The ill health mole is right where the health palace is situated, and thus, it usually has a profoundly negative effect on a person's wellness. A person with this mole right on top of the nose bridge will always be flanked with a not-so-strong immunity and illnesses that will trouble for life. A mole in this position will also indicate a constant drain of finances, and mostly because of the mole bearer's own ill habits and poor money management skills. A person with a mole on the nose bridge will generally have a predilection for gambling. This will harm the person more if he does not know how and where to draw the line. This mole basically spells just bad luck in every aspect. One more reason why I am saying so is that people with a mole in this area are known to be world-class flirts. In fact, they invented the art of charming others off the floor. Forget flirting with people from the opposite sex, they even try this art out on people from their own sex. Keep in mind that if you have a mole in this position and you do not control your advances on people, you will end up in a tumbler full of soup. I kid you not. Share, tweet, share, email, comments. Mole. 6. A mole in this position is usually called a grass-covered pearl. WP_ad_camp_1. A very sharp, creative mind day. That is exactly what this mole is indicative of. This mole, which is usually well hidden in the eyebrows, suggests an enshrouded talent, an artistic bent of mind, and a massive capacity to harness success and glory with back-breaking hard work and persistence. There must be a strong will to do things differently, and when this will is channelized in the proper way, the pearl from the belly of the ocean shall emerge. Mole. 7. Moles in this area generally signify a good amount of familial tiffs with relatives. If you do have a mole at this spot, please make sure that you settle any simmering conflicts as soon as practicable, for it will end up causing you a great amount of heartache and professional disturbance otherwise. For a man, this mole has no other significance. For the ladies though, this mole translates to lavish showering of gifts and fortune from members of the opposite sex. Her love for luxury will be matched by the gifts her admirers shower on her, even more, if she has a slightly bulbous mole. However, if she has a very dark mole, she will have to battle some hurdles in the course of her life. WP_ad_camp_4. Mole. 8. The ill health mole is right where the health palace is situated, and thus, it usually has a profoundly negative effect on a person's wellness. A person with this mole right on top of the nose bridge will always be flanked with a not-so-strong immunity and illnesses that will trouble for life. A mole in this position will also indicate a constant drain of finances, and mostly because of the mole bearer's own ill habits and poor money management skills. A person with a mole on the nose bridge will generally have a predilection for gambling. This will harm the person more if he does not know how and where to draw the line. This mole basically spells just bad luck in every aspect. One more reason why I am saying so is that people with a mole in this area are known to be world-class flirts. In fact, they invented the art of charming others off the floor. Forget flirting with people from the opposite sex, they even try this art out on people from their own sex. Keep in mind that if you have a mole in this position and you do not control your advances on people, you will end up in a tumbler full of soup. I kid you not. WP_ad_camp_2. Face moles. Mole. 9. Double, toil and trouble. Fire burn and cauldron bubble. Double, toil and trouble. Something wicked this way comes. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Perfect lines for you, O bearer of the lose wealth mole. Do yourself and the world a favor by getting this dot removed. The mole will become a mountain of sufferings otherwise. Let us see what it spells for a man. This man will invariably detest his extended family, harbor ill feelings and distrust for his spouse, especially if the mole is jet black, and he will most definitely owe money to a litany of women. Oh, and yes, he will also have problems related to sexuality in his life. And since this mole is called the lose wealth mole, it affects the finance scenario in either way, a constricted inflow or unregulated outflow of wealth. So, money will either not stay with you for sustained periods of time, or you will not earn enough at any given point in time. Mole. 10. This mole is called the descendant's luck mole, and it generally means that the person with such a mole will have a number of children and subsequently, a number of grandkids. Their familial ties will be strong and their friends will always be by them. This will eventually translate to optimal emotion and material satiation. However, this also means that men might have issues with the women in their lives, and women have a high likeliness of having unresolved problems with their spouses. Mole. 11. This mole basically is significative of an enhanced susceptibility to various illnesses, and more so if it is a dark wart. Women should opt for removing it, and quickly, because it also indicates marital upheavals, insensitivity towards the spouse, and an arrogance that will ruin all. Mole. 12. Riches, fame, success. Basically the good life. The range between the ups and downs in your life will never be very great. A peaceful and happy life is basically what you shall have throughout. Mole. 13. Patience. That is the only thing that can help you with the predicament that comes along with the crying mole. People with this mole are easily moved, and they tend to think a lot, no matter how trivial the issue actually is. They tend to carry around their emotional baggage throughout their lives, and the baggage is usually a result of their issues with their offspring. Share, tweet, share, email, comments. Mole. 14. You have a major and uncontrollable weakness for food. You can seldom do anything about it but to succumb helplessly. Pay heed to this weakness before it ruins your life and you become prone to food-related allergies. For women, this mole says that you are flirtatious to almost careless extent. Your handling of money is clumsy and you are lost most of the time. Men with this mole are likely to travel out of their countries very frequently and earn handsomely through these trips. Mole. 15. Rejoice if you are a man, as you are blessed to have this mole. Success and glory will kiss your feet at every stop. Ladies, you have reasons to rejoice too. Even though you will have tussles with your kids at regular intervals, your creativity, keen eye for detail, and nomadic, adventurous streak will see you through the day. You will travel far and wide, for staying in one place is not your bag. Stagnation stifles you. You will do up your abode in varying styles frequently, and your quest for the novel and unknown will give you experiences that others will give an eye and limb for. Mole. 16. You are a natural orator and your gift of the gab is widely coveted. However, your vulnerability towards eating will cause you heartache continuously. Your weight and health issues will increase in leaps and bounds if you do not check yourself immediately. Your sex life woes will be another cause of worry for you. You are romantic through and through, and you are basically passionately in love with the concept of love. You tend to become amorous with multiple people at the same time, as it is not necessary that one will fit the bill at any given point in time. However, you are innately someone who needs to morally validate everything, and that is why conscience pangs and depression take over sometimes. Mole. 17. You are a born star in your circles and socializing is your scene. You talk like a maverick and your success gives you a deep-seated satisfaction. However, it is this satisfaction that sometimes manifests as pride in your behavior, and that can affect your reputation as a charming and sociable person. Keep this in check, as ultimately this is what will come back and bite you. You tend to imbibe your self-worth from the applaud of others. Men especially should keep their airs in check and not go about spilling their temper on everyone. For women, the advice is simple. Choose a life partner very vigilantly. It might just result in a disaster otherwise. Mole. 18. This is the mole of contradiction, in a way. It is said that people with this particular mole are fated to travel a lot. And yet, it is this mole that causes them some trouble during their sojourns abroad, for it prefers the homeland. Men with such a mole are also alcohol addicts and tend to squander away their wealth foolishly. Women are petty, vain and utter spendthrifts. Mole. 19. Lady luck smiling on you, wealth as you want it, and grand friends. All these are yours when and where you want it. Smile. In fact, laugh and dance. However, my dear sucker for charm, tune down the madness when it comes to the opposite sex. Quicksand awaits you in that scene otherwise. Mole. 20. This is the mole of choice in the truest sense of the term. It is like Harry Potter's sorting hat. You are destined to be famous, notorious. The choice is up to you as to which path you are going to take. You will reach the top in either situations. You seldom forgive and never forget. You embrace the good and the evil with equal zest, depending on the situation you are in. You are supremely intelligent. How you wish to utilize that intelligence decides whether you become Mahatma Gandhi or Hitler. Fame or opprobrium naturally follow accordingly. Mole 21. You are a lucky guy with a taste for the good things in life. Literally. You love to binge and are a connoisseur of liquor, music, women, food, drinks. All the fine things that life has to offer are yours to admire and enjoy. The eating god Mole bestows good fortune on you. Mole 22. Sports say that is what you should pursue because not only are you passionate about it, you have a natural flair for it as well. Otherwise, pursue a position of authority with zest. You are a born leader and manager. Life will by large be smooth for you. Mole 23. You are a survivor. Any day, any way. You are a protector of your family and friends and, therefore, will have their support and love throughout your long and productive life. Your intelligence and alertness will get you through the toughest tests in life, and that too with a copyright lan. Mole 24. Save for the rainy day and your rainy day will arrive with advancing age. Thankfully, you will earn handsomely when young. Saving is the only thing you should do judiciously and religiously. Mole 25. The busybody mole is the sign of curiosity, bordering precariously on nosiness. Control yourself and mind your limits. This will bring you everything an individual desires, including a long, healthful life. Mole 26. The guardians of your palace of wealth, located at the tip of your nose, the Save Wealth mole will not only bring in more money into your life, it will also help you keep it. It does the exact opposite of what the Lose Wealth mole does to a person.